Hey guys, it is September 22nd, 2014. I'm Liam, and I took my 21st shot yesterday, which puts me at 20 weeks. I will be 5 months on October 5th, just 5 days before my 24th birthday. So, I haven't made a video in probably 3 weeks or 4 weeks, so I have quite a bit to talk about. I hope you guys are in for a long video. I would say I'll try to make it short, but we know that's a lie. So we will start with the physical changes, as usual. So I don't know if my voice, I don't know if my voice has changed. I think it has a little bit, but not a whole lot. Hair, I have a baby stash. I say that every time, but it just keeps growing in more, just more hair. I have more leg hair. It's up by my knees and on the back of my legs and starting on my thighs now. And I'm starting to get blonde hairs, very light and very soft all through here, all through my jawline. More belly hair. I have lots of armpit hair. I play with it all the time. My acne seems to be getting better. I started a new acne treatment of washing once a day, and I alternate between just a regular and then a blackhead blaster. I don't know. I have no idea. And then I use this other what is it called? I don't remember. And I moisturize, and I just keep up on it quite a bit. And my hair, my phone is going off like crazy. Anyways, my hair is growing quickly, as it usually does, and doing whatever it wants to do. I'm getting muscle. That's nice. And I'm getting, I don't know if you can see it, I'm getting some abs, just a little bit. I worked out a little bit ago. I don't work out my legs a whole lot. I'm worried about working out my legs and my butt muscles because that's where I do my shots, and I'll have to get over it someday, but it scares me to have like really muscular, because when I've already gained muscle, and from the beginning, my first shots to now, I can feel it when I do my shot, or when Jordan does my shot, I can feel it going through the muscle. So I really don't want that to get worse and hurt more. I don't know if it'll hurt more, but it makes me nervous either way. So a lot's happened recently with my mental state. I've been trying to get jobs, and I have to have my legal name for my jobs, and that's been hard because no matter where I put Liam or how many times I put Liam on things, they still call out my legal name, and they expect that type of person, and then I stand up, and sometimes it feels like they're embarrassed for me. They're embarrassed that they've just called out that name and I stood up, and then from then on they act like I'm sketchy. And I interviewed for probably 15 positions, all of which I know that I was more than capable of. I have had experience in those areas, I have good references, and so it's just started feeling like I was being rejected, and it was causing depression, and I knew I needed a job, and I was starting classes, and Jordan was working full-time, and I was still just sitting at home. And so I had started out, when we first moved, walking the dogs all the time. I was walking the dogs and working out and getting outside and doing stuff, and then slowly I was sleeping until noon, staying up from noon to 2, and then sleeping from 2 until Jordan got home at 4:30, and then staying awake until 2 or 3 in the morning. And and then just wanting to sleep all day and cry, but I couldn't cry. I didn't have tears, but I felt like I wanted to cry for 2 weeks. I just felt like I had no motivation. I wasn't really eating right, and it was really taking its toll on me. I just felt very down, and the thing is, going through puberty at a time when puberty isn't expected of you is hard. You know, I'm going through all this, all these hormonal changes. My dogs are so cute. Um, Going through all these hormonal changes, which are expected on boys at like 14, 15, 16, and I dropped my pen on him, but he was really cute. And instead I'm going through it at 23 or 24, and everything becomes overwhelming, and questioning whether or not I made the right choice. And I do think that I made the right choice. I know that I made the right choice for me, but during these emotional times, it's hard to not question just about everything. And Jordan and I have been doing really great, but then we went through a rough patch because I was having a hard time talking, and it took its toll, and I didn't want to get out of bed ever. And I knew that that was unhealthy. I knew that I needed to find motivation, that finding motivation, getting up and going out to walk the dogs, to just go for a walk, to go get coffee, I knew that any of that would make me feel better, would help pull me out of it, but I couldn't. I didn't know how to gather the energy, so I just kind of laid in bed and talked to my friends about it. And then I went to this last interview, and I was trying really hard to go in with a good attitude, but the night before I remember just thinking, like, these people aren't going to hire me. They're not, when I show up there and they expect somebody that's not a Liam, and then I'm there, they're not gonna like me anyways, so it doesn't matter what I say when I go into this interview. I can just bomb it and whatever. So I didn't try to prepare myself like I typically would, and I went in there, and the first question they asked was, is there anything you want us to know, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? And I pretty much just laid it out. Hey, this is a good time for me to say it since you asked. I am Liam, I'm transgender, and going by Liam isn't a request, it's a personal requirement. And they're like, alright, sounds great, anything else you want us to know? So it went a lot better than I thought, and then they offered me a job on the spot. So that has really, really bumped up my confidence. I don't feel so rejected, and I'm smiling, I'm getting out of bed and working out and trying to take the dogs for a walk. They're impossible to walk. It's like trying to keep control of a moving bulldozer. So that's been really great, and I'm gonna start working on getting my name changed legally. It's really expensive here in Oregon. It's an easy process as compared to some other states, but it's really expensive. It's gonna cost me over $300, easily over 300, probably closer to 500, to get new ID, new social security card, and then passport, all of it. It's gonna be expensive. So, which is fine. There's a place in Portland, Oregon that I can call called the ID Project, and they have somebody that's supposed to be able to help me with paying for it. I don't know if they pay for all of it. I've been trying to get a hold of them for like 2 weeks, and I just called all the wrong times, and I don't like leaving voicemails. It's just out of habit. Before, I hated hearing my voice on voicemails, So now when I hear the voicemail thing come on, I listen to it and then I hang up. And I could make voicemails now. It wouldn't bother me so much. And another great thing is I'm getting insurance, and I don't know if it's gonna cover my trans health stuff, such as therapy, hormones, and top surgery, which is something that I really plan to get next year. I'm gonna figure out if insurance covers it, then I'm gonna figure out how to get top surgery next year, probably next summer. OHP, the Oregon Health Plan, does cover that stuff starting in January, so it kind of puts me in a position where I really want to keep the Oregon health coverage because I know that they cover it, and that's comforting to me to know that in just 4 or 5 months they're going to cover a lot. They're going to cover all of it, maybe not all of the cost, but some of everything, which is amazing because my doctor's visits, getting my blood work done, hormones, top surgery itself is $10,000, plus the time I would need off of work and travel expenses depending on where I go. So a lot of money. So I just really hope that my insurance will cover some of it. If not, in January I'm going to try to be getting into a different job position, and I know that they cover it, so I'm not too worried about that. As far as so far my overall mental health, since beginning transitioning, I've had a lot less anxiety, and my mind is much calmer. The past few weeks I've been a little anxious, but my mind doesn't wander as much about everything. And in 5 months' time, pre-transition, I would have gone through anywhere from 3 to 5 kind of breakdowns over wanting to transition and being afraid, worrying about Jordan, worrying about my marriage, worrying about my family. I would have gone through 3 to 5 of those. So having had this past 3-4 week depression, in hindsight, it has been minimal in comparison to what things would have been had I decided to not transition yet. And I'll take this hormone causing, this fluctuation of hormone causing depression, and some people disagreeing with or not understanding my transition over me wishing that I could transition and being terrified of transitioning. I would take what I'm going through now over that any day. And some people have questioned me on, why the depression? Is this something that you can work through? Is it bad enough that you want to keep going through? Is it because you made the wrong choice? And no, I didn't make the wrong choice. It's just part of it. If you guys remember going through puberty, it's not always fun. I mean, sometimes it really can be fun. It's self-discovery, and I have the ability now to really understand it. And I went through a few weeks of being really down, but I was able to analyze it, and now I'm able to analyze it better since I'm out of it. But yeah, it's all been really great, and I wouldn't take back anything. Yeah, I wouldn't take back any of it. So speaking of the depression, I have been promising you guys can smack me. Just come through the computer and whack me. Jordan and I have officially compiled a list of questions, and we've started talking about the answers, trying to make sure that we agree on things for these answers, not necessarily agree, but we can agree to disagree. But we kind of want to have an idea of what we're going to say for the video before we just turn the camera on. So we are making that video now, and probably will have it up by next Saturday at the latest. We're working, guys. I swear. It's been... some days I've been lucky to get out of bed and get my homework done, let alone make a video. So, bear with me. And I will see you guys again by this Saturday. I'm going to look at the date and make sure that I have it to you guys by this date. I will have it to you guys by September 27th, at the latest, September 27th. Alright, guys. I will see you then.